Hi everyone, welcome to your Learning Library Online. Today we're going to do a short video about locating databases, and specifically today we're going to look at healthcare databases. So let me hop in here. I'm going to share my screen with you. And what you should be seeing now is Canadore College's homepage. Hopefully you've had a chance to be here, but if not, simply go to your favorite browser and type in canadorecollege.ca. You'll get to this page. What we're going to do from here is go next to this support button and get the drop-down menu, and right down here at the bottom, the Learning Library. This is what our homepage looks like at the library, and from here, you can search for all different types of resources. You can use the Omni search box for finding books, articles, and videos, as well as all of our other materials to borrow. You can see the hours of the library, as well as how to contact us. So lots of great tips and tools in here. Today, what we're going to focus on is the resources section. So we're going to drop down this and specifically looking at exploring databases. Now, when we open this up, what we're seeing on this page is 327 different databases. A database is just a collection. So that could be things like newspaper, magazine, or peer-reviewed journal articles. It could include things like videos, as well as images that you might find useful for your assignments. They come in two different forms. It could be that Canadore has paid for you to have access through a subscription database. So that allows you, when you're a current student, staff member, or faculty here at Canadore, to access materials online. And each one of these will provide you with a different little blurb about what's included in each database. So that'll give you some tips in terms of your information need. The other alternative option is that it could be open access. So if we scroll down, for example, to this AGO collection and the AGO collection on Internet Archive, this is what the logo looks like for open access. So that's available to everyone, even if you're not affiliated with Canadore or Nipissing. So make sure you're either selecting Canadore or open access materials when you're looking through these. But one thing I'm going to show you today is to narrow it down. There's a couple of ways to do that. Your faculty member might tell you a specific database title they want you to use, a type of database or the name of it. So for example, if you're using CINAHL, you might want to go in under C and you look at just the databases named, starting with the letter C, and scroll down and use CINAHL from there. Another way to narrow things down is drop down this menu for all subjects. And as you can see, it's covering all the subjects being taught at both Canadore and Nipissing University, as well as those multidisciplinary databases or general databases. And that means it covers lots of different subject areas all in one place. Today, what I'm going to recommend is we use health sciences. And what we're doing now is we've dropped down to 34 databases, but these are all focused directly on health sciences. So as we go through, you can see, open access material where if you need something, maybe you're doing an anatomy class, you might want to use this anatomy video and imagery diversity project. That's from the University of Calgary and the University of Windsor. It's got original illustrations as well as videos that show the spectrum of human diversity. So some really interesting information there that you can use. Depending on your information source, maybe you need books, ebooks available. So you could go books at Ovid. But you might also want to use things like some of our favorite databases that are health related. So CINAHL, EBM reviews if you're doing evidence-based medicine. Maybe you want to go down and use health and wellness. There's lots of different options for you to use. Some that you might be familiar with, EBSCO host Medline or Ovid Medline. What that means when it's got it in brackets, that's the vendor that's providing it. The way that that's helpful to you is sometimes, there are technical glitches or something's going on with a specific database. So if, for example, the EBSCO version of Medline is down one day, you might be able to get in through Ovid. So always be aware that that is a benefit for you to have access to different vendors providing the database. It's also why we recommend to students, make sure you do your research early so that you can get in and get access to things. You want to make sure if there is a technical glitch, you can either touch base with the library or your IT department and make sure that you can get in. Other than that, you can go down and search through all these different ones. There is no right and wrong answer for which database to use. It might depend on what area of study you're in. Maybe you're in physical therapy, so this one might be a very good database for you. PTSD pubs, maybe you're looking at a very specific disorder, and that might be useful, as well as some that you might be familiar with. Maybe you're used to using PubMed out online, but if you go through our databases and link it this way, you get access to some of those other materials as well. So, you know, pay attention to what your faculty member has told you, either in your assignment or your syllabus. They often give you great guidelines of which databases or which information types you need. Do you need to use peer-reviewed journals? Then make sure you're finding those within the databases. We're going to stay at this level right now. There are going to be some new videos coming out about specific databases like CINAHL, for example, and how to navigate that for specific assignments. But, there's no right or wrong answer other than making sure you're following your guidance of your faculty member. But if you go in and you hop into one of these by selecting the title, when you get in there, you will be asked to log in, and that will be the same login and password as your Canadore student email. So whatever you use for that, you can get in using that login and password as well. If you have trouble with any of these things, you can touch base with your faculty member. You can touch base with Canadore IT, especially if it's a login issue. But we're also here to help out. The library is here to help. We can help with basic navigation of the databases, as well as some basic research support if you need it, need some ideas or somebody to bounce your thoughts off of, or just, getting through to which database might be most helpful to you. So touch base with us. As I may have mentioned, we answered over 14,500 questions last year at the library. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have something that you need help with, okay? We're here to help out. Thanks.